Welcome to my channel, How This Mom Does It, or welcome back to How This Mom Does It if you visited my channel before. Today is a little bit different. I am actually going to be participating in the virtual homeschool co-op this year, and I'm very excited about that. My channel is newer, and I actually didn't have a channel up when they were doing virtual homeschool co-op last year, but I did watch it, and I found some really great YouTube channels to follow that way, and just got some really good information. I always love watching other homeschooling channels. So definitely go over to the virtualhomeschoolcoop.com that Just So Trish created, and check that out and participate if you can, or just check out the other videos. This is my third year homeschooling, but when I first started out, I basically learned through YouTube and Facebook and asking lots of questions and trying to see what other moms did and other homeschooling families, what they were doing, and I didn't really know anyone personally who homeschooled. So the internet was a great resource to me, and I really love being able to pass on information that I have and get other information from other moms. So definitely go and check it out if you're interested, and see what other moms are doing. This episode is going to be the virtual homeschool co-op assignment number 1. Basically, it's how structured am I? How structured am I? Am I structured or am I relaxed in 3 different areas: curriculum, basically our daily routine, and then how I organize our homeschool. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first part of the assignment is how structured are you in your curriculum? And I guess I consider us not structured in one way in that we don't use a box curriculum. I do like to pick and choose. I have a 6-year-old and a soon-to-be 4-year-old, and my 4-year-old is pretty much doing just light preschool activities, lots of hands-on, things like that. So I do have some things I use with him that I'm, pretty structured with, but really it's kind of as he wants to do school. I'm really not pushing school too much with him. I have things available for him when he wants to, and we kind of just play it by ear with him. He has a lot of time before he really needs to start kindergarten, so we're kind of just playing it by ear with him. So I guess in terms of my son, I am not structured. With my daughter, I am more structured. She is technically a 1st grader, but is working at a 2nd grade level. So she has the ability to do 2nd grade work, but still the maturity of a 1st grader. So that's a little bit of a challenge we have. We also go through a charter, which is a little bit different, and it is a choice charter, so we can basically pick whatever curriculum I want to use. I can use anything that they provide, or I can use anything I want to of my own. So we do take a few things from them, but for the most part I purchase my own curriculum. That does change things in terms of our organization, and I will go over that in just a second though. In terms of the curriculum choices that I make, we're a little bit all over the place. I do a lot of classical. We do follow the Well-Trained Mind in several recommendations, but we also do a lot of lap books and a lot of literature unit studies. So we do a lot of unit studies, and we do a little bit of Charlotte Mason. We're doing a lot of nature study this year and a lot of narration this year. So some different aspects from different styles. But in terms of what I choose and the curriculum that we're using, we do stick to it. So I'm pretty structured in terms of what we're using in terms of staying to it, if that makes sense. And I do have a video on my curriculum choices if you're interested in seeing that, and I will link that below. And I'm also pretty structured in our reading. I have reading lists that we follow. I have the monthly read alouds. I have independent reading lists that we go through, themed picture books per month that we go through, and I have videos on all of that as well, and I will link those below if you're interested in checking out what we're reading. So I am pretty structured in that too. I have monthly themes that we work through with our unit studies, and every month is a little bit different, and I add in some unit studies for all of that as well. So, for instance, we're going to be starting a unit on Constitution Day, and we're going to be doing Johnny Appleseed. I do mix that into, and that is not as structured. It's more as we have time. So I do have our structured set curriculum, and then I add in units as well as I feel like it. So I guess a little bit of both. So that's part one of the question, and now I'm going to go on to how I organize it in our daily routine. So part two of am I structured or relaxed question is our daily routine. So how structured are we in our daily routine? And I have a spreadsheet. That's how I do our lesson planning, and every week is a different tab. So basically week 1, week 2, week 3, and I have every week of the year already assigned to a tab with most of it filled in. And I will change it as it goes through time because, like I said, with the unit studies, I usually add those in kind of as we feel like it and change it around. So I have a little bit of flexibility in changing things, which I like. In terms of our week, basically, I mean, we don't really have a set daily routine. We are involved in so many different activities, which is one of the really nice things about homeschool is you can be involved in lots of activities. You can be out of the house a lot if you need to be one day and be home all day the next, and that's kind of how we are. We don't really have a set daily schedule because that's just not our life. My husband is going to school and working, so when he's home and actually available to be with us and not studying, then I let my kids spend time with him because that's important to us. So on days when he has time to spend time with them, we don't do school. But we will do school on like Saturday to make up time. So basically, to me, what's important is finishing the week's worth of work. So as long as we finish whatever I have planned for the week, then to me it doesn't matter what we did each day. And sometimes I'll let my daughter choose too. Does she want to do handwriting or not do handwriting? She could do it tomorrow or that type of thing. I do try to do math and like the writing every day that we do school, just because they need the consistency. But like with social studies and science, we usually do like 2 days a week. Or every day if we're stretching it out. And you're like, it really depends. So I guess we are not very structured in our daily routine at all when I really think about it. I never thought about it before. It's a really good question. Yeah, basically as long as we complete my plan for the week, and I will go through as we complete each thing on our list, and no matter what day it is, say it's day 3, but it's really day 2, and we moved ahead because she was really into whatever page she was on and wanted to continue on, then we'll continue on. And if she's asking to do something, we're going to do it. So I'll just highlight for the next day what we did and move on. So to me, as long as we've completed all the work by the end of the week, then I'm happy that we've done what we're supposed to do. So that is part 2 of. So the third question in this assignment is, how organized are you in your homeschool space? So how do I organize my homeschool? We actually do not have a designated homeschool room. I've mentioned that a couple times in my videos, and I've just had to get really creative with our space. So I'd have to say I am a 9 in terms of organizing my spaces that I have, but we don't really have a homeschool room, so that presents a lot of challenges. This is where we do a lot of our homeschooling, is I have my laptop here at the kitchen counter. My daughter will sit next to me, and when my son does any seated work, they'll swap and he'll sit next to me as well. And then I have this is my homeschool, I call it my command center, because it's basically like my desk in our kitchen. But basically I've got our pencils and scissors. I have our sticker box because I have little kids and you have to have reward stickers. My recipe book, and so basically it's like my home management center rather than just homeschooling. But I have projects that I'm working on, unit studies, art supplies for the kids, my son's Before 5 in a Row, some of my teacher books, our monthly binder that I work off of, and I have a video on that, and that's how I actually organize all of our paperwork, because we do go through a charter, and I have to be able to bring our work to be looked at by a teacher. So this is how I organize that work, and again, I have a video on that if you're interested in seeing how I organize our monthly binder. And then I have like my home management binder, which has our meal planning and all of that. So this is one space I use. And this is a second area that I use to stay organized in our homeschool. This is actually in my dining room, and we have a very small dining room, so I have to conserve space. Basically, this is behind a chair and that we don't really use very often. And these are the two work carts I have. I have one for each child, and it has all of the work that I don't put into a binder for me. And so all of the things that I don't want to rip apart, all their workbooks that we don't want to tear apart into a binder, will go into these drawers. Also, for my preschooler, I use it a little bit differently, and he has a lot of activities and things in his. And I plan on doing a video pretty soon on my workbox carts and how I organize them and what's in them and all that. So be on the lookout for that. But this is another way that I stay organized. So this is the biggest area I have to store all of our homeschool gear, everything related to homeschool. This is basically where I store everything else other than the work carts. This is in our living room. It takes up a good portion of a wall, and it's our bookshelves. This is one of the biggest investments we made into our homeschool. When we started thinking about homeschooling, I knew that we would be wanting to create a good home library for our children. That was something that was really important to us. And I plan on doing a video on our bookshelves and how I organize them and all of that. I got a lot of these books used, pretty much almost all of them, and I usually only pay like $1 or less a book. So it looks like a lot, but this is several years worth of collecting books and games and manipulatives and toys and all the fun extra parts of homeschooling that I've been collecting. So this is how I store all of it, and at the top I have bins for crafts and different subjects. So I have science and social studies and crafts and all kinds of stuff. So this is how I keep us organized, and definitely really enjoy having these in our home. It's made things a whole lot easier not having a dedicated schoolroom, but having some nice looking bookshelves, although they are full with games and it probably doesn't look so nice. But it's nice to have a place to organize it all. So this is another way I keep organized. Lastly, this is my road schooling bag. That's what I call it. It is a rolling cart bag, I guess you would call it. I had a rolling box last year, and it basically fell apart on me. It was used so much. So I upgraded this year to this basically carry-on bag is what it is. And I did a video on this, so if you'd like to see how I organize our road schooling bag, you can check that out. But this is what we have to take. We have to go to meetings monthly with our charter school, and this is what I take with us to those meetings. It's also what I can take with us when we go on vacations or anytime we have to school on the road. This is something I could take with us, and it's easily put in the car and just makes life a whole lot easier. And it also gives me some extra storage space during the school week where I can keep some of my teacher manuals and extra things that I don't need to have out all the time. I can put that in here and roll it away and keep it in a closet or just wherever, so it's not in the way, but it's still storage, and I know where things are at when I put it in there. So that is the last thing I used. And that was assignment 1 of the Virtual Homeschool Co-op 2016-2017 school year. How structured am I in our homeschool? So for curriculum, I would say like a 6. For routine, I would say like a 2 or 3. And for organization in our homeschool, I would say like a 9. Please head over to the virtualhomeschoolcoop.com, and I'm going to include a link below for you so you can check out more videos and learn more about it if you'd like to participate. I know I'm looking forward to reading some of the blogs because they have bloggers participating, and watching some of the other videos that are going to be posted from some really great homeschool channels. So I'm looking forward to that. And until next time, I hope you like this video. If you do, click like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.